Good, beautiful moment. I'm surrounded by flowers. It's Laguna Beach. It is probably 8 in the morning on Thursday. Let me show you where I'm at. I have eucalyptus trees all above my head. And I'm in downtown of Laguna. I came here on a walk. And I just wanted to share with you, beloveds, good morning, good morning. I just had this inspiration to give a voice to literally the most profound topic. And it's awakening of the spiritual heart. And I just wanted to share with you from my heart frequency this journey that I've been on for the last 15 years. And whether you are on a leadership path as myself, you run your own business, or you serve your community, oh, my spiritual mama Raquel has joined. I love you. Yeah, I'm in the morning. This is my morning, and I came here downtown of Laguna Beach, and I just found this beautiful space with lots of white flowers. And I felt an impulse to share with you my discoveries. You know, it's such a profound conversation, awakening of our spiritual heart, and it's a lifelong curriculum. I'm discovering there is a deepening and deepening. There is layers and layers of that educational curriculum of how to allow a deeper healing and a deeper opening and a deeper awakening, a deeper softening of your heart. And just to give you a little bit of a background of my life experience, on the level of the soul, I chose a very turbulent childhood background. It's all carefully designed by the soul. And you know, one of my favorite sayings says, life is meant to be lived forward, but life can be only understood by looking backwards, right? So this is a perspective, you know, when you look backwards, your last 30 years of your life, and you begin to see a certain geometry of events, of people, of circumstances, right? Where you say, oh, it all has a deeper connective pattern. Life has a storyline. Life has a myth. Life has a particular path that it's taking me, and it's teaching me something. So the biggest lesson of my life experience was that we are guided to learn how to trust life again. And we learn how to trust life again by going through experiences that may leave us wounded, right? So I grew up in a turbulent background, turbulent childhood, with a lot of uncertainty and a lot of taking a pause, allowing somebody to just pass through. Pauses are so good. Pauses are so good. So there were many experiences in my life where shutting down my heart was the only way I was able to move through an experience without complete collapse, without complete, insanity even. So as a little girl, as early as I can remember, I learned to leave my body like exit my body and to hover above my body in order not to feel the depth of emotional pain. And that's called the trauma response to a painful experience. And I've yet to meet a person who's never had a trauma. You know, sometimes we don't know that's how trauma feels and how it's experiences. We just don't have the language. We just feel numb, right? We just feel numb and we feel disconnected and alone. So my childhood was filled with experiences like that. And on the gift side, because every painful experience has a potential to turn into profound wisdom. So on the flip side of all those traumatic experiences, my mystical gifts began to open up really, really early. And the gift of, you know, scanning people emotionally and intuiting their intentions. And because I was a little kid, always living in a state of alert, scanning my environment. Where is the next threat is going to come from? Where is the next incident of violence is going to come from? Where is the next, mood of an adult that's going to come from? So creating this artificial sense of safety by leaving my body and living on alert. This was the reality. And my friend Tony is here. My friend Tony knows exactly how it feels, right? So the heart shut down because the heart, your nervous system, it takes over and you live on alert, right? So the spiritual awakening that began for me really after my divorce, 28 years old, 27, I left my former husband, and I began my process of self-discovery of, you know, my own unique way, first rebelling against all the rules and just kind of like challenging everything that I was told is correct or right, and I was walking the path of rebellion, and I tried to live a life without spirit for a few years. Can you imagine that? I thought that I could live with zero connection to my soul, which of course just brought me to a deeper level of despair. And I remember I took a class on Buddhism because I was so scarred with anything religious, anything that told me there is only one path to God, there is only one truth. I had so many scars from that experience. I didn't want to do anything with religion. But I was guided to a class, Introduction to Buddhism. And Buddhism was my return back to my heart, because I was in a room with a teacher who was a Buddhist monk who lived in a monastery with Dalai Lama. And the whole philosophy of the Buddhist teachings is this, they give you an instruction how to be with yourself. They don't tell you what to believe. They don't tell you there's a right way or wrong way. They just say, let's sit and breathe together. Let's sit and listen to our heart space together. And it was so non-threatening. It was so spacious that I was willing to step into that experience and feel my heart. And that was my first lesson of healing my heart, is learning to be with my heart in a very fresh and spacious way. And then I was guided to another teacher who just gave me a very simple instruction to sit every day and to ask my heart to grow. That's it. No dogma, no this is the correct path to spirit. No, just sit and feel first the physical organ of your heart, right? Then you begin to visualize it on a spiritual level as energy, right? And then the next instruction was asking your heart to grow. So that was my process, beloveds. I would sit, not every day, but a few days a week, and I would just sit and asking my heart to grow, asking my heart to begin to talk to me, right? And my heart began to come online, right, as a spiritual organ that begin to unfold like the flower, right? And the heart has profound intelligence. The heart has so much wisdom, so much beauty. And when we invite it to open, it begins to guide us. It begins to nourish us from within. It's almost like, there's a spiritual being that can be found in the center of our heart that lays awake, asleep, that lays as a potential. And when we begin to feel our heart, that spiritual essence begins to open up and fill us with its nourishment, with its wisdom, with its guidance. This is what I say when I encourage others to listen to their inner teacher, to listen to their inner guide. Any external teacher can only be a messenger for us. And the wise, truly wise embodied teacher will always point you back to connecting to that inner wisdom within. Yes, heart is a spiritual organ, Raquel says. Yes. It is a spiritual organ filled with wisdom and beauty. And it's an ongoing curriculum, beloveds, because yesterday I was with two of my teachers, and, I am diving into deep, profound training of Tantra as an intimacy with life. A lot of times we think that Tantra is only, not only, Tantra, oftentimes people understand Tantra as a sexual practice, which is just one tiny aspect of that. The depth of Tantra as a way of walking intimate with life. Everything that shows up in your reality is a gift from one cosmic beloved, which is one universal spirit. And what I'm discovering, there's this progressive, powerful openings of your heart, and it's removal of the defenses around your heart, layer by layer by layer by layer. And then you begin to walk your life as an ongoing adventure. Nothing to hold back, nothing to defend, only continuous wonder. What is this here to teach me? How much bigger I can open. So it's a very courageous way to live with undefended heart. And what I found is there is a rhythm to it. There is a pulse to that life. But your life begins to be filled with so much meaning and so much beauty, and you begin to see your wounded experiences as profound source of wisdom. And you also know that every wound is a space. Every wound is an opening through which the divine light can move through you. And I have found some of the most, people who had the most amount of traumatic experiences often become some of the most compassionate people I've ever met in my life, because they interact with you from the place of true gentleness, from the place of true compassion, from the place of true opening, and that's so beautiful. So if you going through experience that brought you to your knees recently, and you wonder if you ever be able to weave the pieces of your heart into the same place, into a place of wholeness, I'm here to honor your journey, and I'm here to take a bow to your process, and to honor your courage, and to honor your strength, and to honor your this place of discovery that you're moving through. And I just want you to know that what you're moving through has a potential to heal the world. When we begin to remember there is only, this universe is a holographic in nature, so you, by healing another layer of your beautiful heart, you're healing the world. This is how we heal the soul of the world, by stepping into this brave nakedness, brave vulnerability, and by looking into the core of our wounds, and by being willing to trust the process unconditionally. Unconditionally. So I've been healing some of the most profound abandonment wounds since I've been, 5 years old. And it's such a brave process, beloveds, but we're not doing it for our own healing. We are being invited by our higher self to walk this path of deep tantric opening to the beloved, which is life itself, in order to heal the wounds of the world. And nothing is more exquisite than when I see my fellow visionary leader, my fellow spiritual leader, my fellow, leaders on the path who are being invited to do this deep, profound alchemical work, while at the same time holding leadership, projects, service. And to me, beloveds, this is the process. It's not here's my service and here's my healing. No, it's all the same fabric of experience. It's all the same melody. And that's the gift of integration, where a healing in one part of your life spreads into your service, spreads into your message, spreads into your relationships. I love you. Thank you for sharing this beautiful time with me. To ground this into a ritual, imagine that your heart is like this white flower, and you sit with your heart. It could be just 1 minute a day, and imagine that your heart has consciousness, and you ask that consciousness to unfold and to grow and to speak to you through dreams, through ideas, through feelings, through sensations. And your only prayer could be, my beloved heart, I invite you to grow. I invite you to reveal to me your wisdom. And see what happens. See what happens. I love you. I love you. I love you. Until next, I come to you with the next part of this series of opening our spiritual heart. And so we heal the world by healing our hearts.